Hey, what's up? It's Max. First of all, thank you so much for extending this cameo. I didn't see it at first, so I was like totally missing it. So thanks for doing that. Thanks for reaching out. It's a really cool question. I loved doing Anastasia, and I loved playing Gleb. It was actually surprisingly one of my favorite roles ever. I remember seeing the show and being like, yeah, I like the show. One of the reasons I was attracted to it because I loved how family friendly it was. I was in the audience watching, and I just saw how much kids enjoyed it in their families. Like, this is a really special show to be a part of. And then the role of Gleb kind of like caught me by surprise because I hadn't realized just how much depth there was to it, how complicated he was, and it just what a wonderful character he was. But I don't necessarily know that I would want more added because the show, it's Anastasia, it's about Anya, and it's about her journey and how other people come into play, so I think I really love just what was written. These small scenes, like, first of all, this is a tough question only because I don't remember, very much. This was a couple of years ago now. I like do a show, then it's like out of my head. But I'm trying to recall some of the scenes. They were short, but you just got enough from them about, his sense of duty, his relationship with his father and his mother, and his father after, his father is one of the soldiers who who was tasked to kill the Romanov family, and how he was such heartbreak after that, and he lived with such guilt and embarrassment, and that's mentioned in the songs, and how that plays into Gleb's life, and then tasked with this duty of finding Anya, hunting her down, essentially like killing her, and yet being so thrown off guard with her and starting to fall in love with her, and perhaps Anya even feels conflicted as well because she's drawn to him. I remember Terrence McNally wrote the book, and I think he did it so beautifully. He wrote me the sweetest note, how like he was happy with how I played it, and because he's not just the villain from a cartoon, or from a superhero story. He is a real human who's conflicted, and he's actually in a way like sort of this love triangle between him and Anya and Dimitri, but it's not reciprocated. It's not. He doesn't receive it in return. So it's just. I think he's got such a beautiful arc, and he's tasked with so much to as an actor to like go through. I was like just surprised, but I don't think I would add more because I think that's all you needed for Anastasia. It's not called Gleb. It was Anya's story. And just enough, I felt like Gleb popped in just enough so you learned so much about him in just these short little vignettes, and his two sort of big numbers. Well, I had one song right in the first act, and then maybe two in the first act. I forget. One nice, beautiful one in the first act, and one in the second act. I don't remember. Maybe they were both in the first act. It was like Neva Flows and Still, and then in Act 2 there was the quintet at the opera, and then this big sort of breakdown scene between him and Anya. At the end of the show, it's just like, my God, where he's like, I'm gonna kill her, and he doesn't. Anyway, so I thought it was plenty. I thought it was just what we needed. The filling it out was my job as an actor, and to working with the director Darko, a little bit of exchange with Terrence McNally, the playwright, and just filling in those gaps. But I didn't have to fill in so much because he gave me just enough in each scene to know, like, oh, okay, here's what it's like when he's a kid. Here's what it's like with his dad, how it felt at home, and here's the scene he's meeting Anya, and there's this electricity between them. He's like, oh my God, so is he falling for this person? Anyway, I think it's just written really, really well, and it was just what we needed. I hope that's somewhat interesting or a good answer, but I very much appreciate you reaching out and asking. So I'm in costume now for Chicago. I'm gonna one more number, then I go back out on stage. Anyway, I hope all is well. Thank you so much for reaching out.